7:32 right now. Both parents and students are asking Connecticut lawmakers to uphold Governor Malloy's veto of a new child removal law that some say targets both students of color and those with disabilities inside the classroom. Joining me this morning to discuss it, Gwendoyln Samuel, the founder of the Connecticut Parents Union. Gwendolyn, good morning.
Good morning.
So this law has kind of slipped under the radar, you said. The goal, it says in writing, is to keep children safe, but you say that's not true.
No, this law, when you start to read the language and listen to the testimonies, it's more about educators saying that they're feeling unsafe in the classrooms. But even the language looks like they're targeting more so kids of color, like school safety is just surrounding with children with disabilities and kids of color. So if we're going to have safety conversation, it needs to be with all constituents.
One of the things in the bill that I was reading, it's quite a long document, is that it provides training to teachers about removing students. It's an annual training, and also adding in a school climate specialist within the district. Some superintendents are against that. Why is that a bad idea in your opinion?
Well, it's not necessarily it's a bad idea. It's the fact that this law took place without including students. Students are the actual consumers of education, so they can actually tell us what's happening in the classrooms as well as educators. And the fact that teachers need to have some of this training, then I'm wondering, if you still need training, do you really have the authority to just put a child out without due process? Because if you don't have the skill sets to manage the class, why should we penalize the child?
And I just want to get your reaction to something here that was written by the Connecticut Education Association. They are saying that this veto should be thrown out and this bill should go through. They said, quote, as a result of its supportive and non-punitive approach, it's designed to lessen discriminatory discipline in the school-to-prison pipeline. It provides alternatives to current permissible responses of suspension and expulsion, and emphasizes support and appropriate interventions for students whose behavior may be a cry for help. Is it on point?
No, because physical assault, they're saying if a child is physical or if there's fighting, that is a crime in the state of Connecticut. So there's currently already statute on the book to address assault. So in essence, this is a punitive law because it is a crime to assault anyone, whether you are a child, whether you are an adult. And those laws already exist. I think this is doubling down on the punitive, which is going to intersect with Department of Children and Families, which is going to intersect with juvenile justice and our prison system, versus, and they also make mental health services as a punishment. Everyone can benefit from mental health support services.
So Gwen, if you had to rewrite this bill and bring it up for a vote, what would you want to include in it? What would you want to get rid?
Number one, you have to have students as part of these conversations and parents, because school safety is a shared responsibility between home, school, and community. Schools can't do this in isolation of parents because we have to work, we sign up for the doctor's appointments, we have to do whatever it takes to get our children, the services they need to be more effective in classrooms.
We constantly see people fighting to get bills passed or to get bills vetoed. This bill, just speaking factually, passed in the Senate. It also passed by a veto-proof majority in the House. Do you really think that if it's brought to a vote, it can be sustained?
Lawmakers have to revisit this because I don't think they read the bill. A lot of these laws already exist currently in the state of Connecticut. We have new laws about pre-kindergarten and second grade that you cannot suspend unless for major issues. This law bypasses that. And there are questions of federal family protection laws and individual disability rights. So there's just too much of, a teacher to be able to just no due process remove a child without knowing all the facts.
And you will be holding a press conference tomorrow. That's why you're here to promote that press conference. Tell us about that, going on at the State Capitol.
So tomorrow, yes, at the State Capitol at 9:15 a.m., right in the front of the State Capitol. Parents, students, communities. We even have veterans. We have those from the American Legion that's going to be joining us, because all want safe schools, but there's a better way to achieve that outcome.
Gwendoyln Samuel, thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, sir.